Hello, welcome to the Common Law Court of Wales, North Wales branch. Here in the radio is Mark Tion Banks, and everybody has heard of him, Vic Skips of Llanach on Anglesey, where the Natural Resources Wales are attempting to take this man's home off him by fining him £400,000. So we'll pass you over to Vic, and Vic is going to tell us exactly how it happened and what he did along the way. So, how did it happen? What happened to you, Vic?
Well, it happened, I got offered some work off the local authority, the Anglesey County Council.
Yeah.
And the main contractor at the time was G Purchase from the West Midlands. So they're renovating the council offices for 5,000 in all. All clean, dry stuff, very light. They kept all the kitchen sinks, the bath, the taps, the copper for themselves. And the rest of the stuff would go in skips. Okay? Stuff like kitchen units, carpet, bits of tiles, bits of plasterboard.
Toilet systems.
Toilet system, sinks.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I drop them 2 skips in the morning.
Yeah.
6:30. They'd work through the day. They'd carry bits and bobs into it. All this stuff was sorted on site. They had to put stuff in bags. You can't just walk through somebody's house with a pile of rubber in a bucket,
No.
dust. So they had to segregate it on site.
Yeah.
And then they put it in the skip.
Okay.
Majority of the stuff was rubble. Lots of it was cardboard. Just think, everything new was going in. Packages in plastic,
Yeah.
cardboard, you know?
Yeah.
So they were watching these now. They didn't want any waste, leftovers. It was costing these firm money. So they had to use everything.
Yeah.
So the skips, I'd pick up the following morning. I'd go there 6:30, pick the 2 of them up, take them back to my yard. Then I'd throw the wood in one. I'd put some rubble in the other.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
So this is how the job went on. There was no contract signed. There was nothing. And it was a minimum payment. £95 a skip. That's all. No more. So you could afford to do the job. One-man band on your own. Sort these out. And really it was a handy job. Everything was clean.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the cardboard would go to one place with clean plastic.
Yes.
They'd bale it, and then that would get sent away.
And where was this, Vic? Where did you send them?
These cardboard would go to Calon
Lan
in Gairwen.
in Gairwen on
Yeah.
Anglesey, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Registered site,
Yes.
all above board. No problem.
Yeah, I think we've heard of them.
Okay.
It's a legitimate site, yeah.
The majority of the wood is classed as waste, so these big firms wouldn't take it. They take clean wood.
It was, a lot of it was chipboard, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
So most of it went all the way up to Manchester.
And what was the name of that
The
company there?
firm up there was called Hatfields.
Hatfields, and that's a well-known,
That's big.
legitimate,
Yes.
permitted,
Yes.
and allowed to take
Yes.
stuff.
They shred different type of wood. They grate it.
Yes.
So in all, that would cost me £800 to £1,000
Yes.
every 2 weeks maybe.
Right.
Okay? So this stuff would get sorted now. The rubble, 50% of the job.
Yeah.
Okay? This would be all laid in the half of the skip, and I pick the wood and the cardboard out.
Yes.
That will go up to a permitted site.
The rubble.
The rubble.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
The environmental knew about the site. They'd been there at one stage
Yeah.
to see, to make sure everything was in order.
Right.
Okay?
There's actually a letter as well, isn't there, Vic?
There was a letter.
That comes from the either Natural Resource Wales or the
It was the Environmental Agency at the time.
Yeah, okay.
Stating that when they visit the site,
Yes.
they found a little bit of plasterboard. And they told the farmer, "We are not allowed to take this kind of waste. Can you give it back to the contractor and he'll dispose of it the right way?"
Right.
He did.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. They came back again a couple of months after.
Yeah.
And thumbs up. No problem.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that shows that the environmental agency was aware of the site
They knew exactly
where you was tipping the rubble, and that the site where you was tipping it was permitted, because otherwise they'd have closed that site down there and then, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Of course they would. Yes.
Some skips would be on site, maybe in Kemas.
Yeah.
Maybe they're taking down the pantry wall, dug the floor up.
Yes.
That was all hardcore.
Yeah.
Straight to that site.
Straight to that site. Where on
To the
permitted
site.
site.
This farmer had 3 years of his license running.
Right.
The duration, more or less, of the job.
Yes.
Okay? So, some jobs were cardboard. They'd have a job putting boilers in.
Yeah.
Efficiency boilers would go in old people's home.
Yes.
All the copper work and all the wires would be kept on one side for the company. But the other would be full of cardboard boxes.
Right.
Straight up to Callan
Yeah.
in Gawan.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. For bailing.
For bailing.
Yeah.
And they'd give me a ticket. They'd give me a season ticket.
Yeah.
Okay?
And you've still got these tickets, Rick?
The environmental, by now, has had them.
Right.
They've seized everything.
They've seized
And
everything.
they've given them back to me now.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, that's how the job went. Okay? At some stages, the environmental agency would come out on site to make sure everything was, there was no asbestos involved or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So they knew about the skips.
Yes.
Nothing to concern, nothing that told them there's something wrong here,
Right.
nothing at all. So it'd be ticking all the boxes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Everything was above board.
Yes. They had a special firm in to take the asbestos or any hazardous.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd go around first before going into the house. They'd have somebody, an agent would go around and they'd prick the side of these little tiles and they'd analyse them and they'd say, "Oh, this is asbestos.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get the team in here and that can be taken special." Yeah.
Yeah.
So, nothing to do with me.
No.
Nothing at
No.
all.
So in other words, Vic, you were looking after the environment and doing as you were told,
Yes.
and they were doing exactly the same thing by testing for asbestos or
Exactly.
whatever was there.
Yes.
So you were both,
We were working
all
together.
of you were working together
Yes.
and above board and
Yes.
trying to keep the environment intact,
they-
following the rules in a way.
They wanted good publicity.
Yes.
They wanted the council to see,
Yes.
yes, and I had to show purchase that I was getting rid of this stuff the right way.
Yeah. And T Purchase
This was the main contractor.
was the main contractor.
Okay?
Yeah. For the renovation.
For
Yeah.
the renovation.
Yes. Right.
Okay? So I could give them papers. Look, the wood's gone up to Manchester. That's been cardboard. It's been baled.
Yeah.
The plastic's gone there. Anything else would be guttering.
Yes.
Maybe buckets.
Yeah.
Plastic buckets.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb was, with recycling, was anything that you can't bend, flexi,
Yeah.
it's not recyclable.
Right.
They wouldn't take it in gear one.
Okay.
For plastic and anything like that.
Yes.
But buckets, they had to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's brittle and,
Yeah.
and breaks, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So, these would go in a larger skip that I had
On your site.
on my site.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All done by myself.
Yeah.
Nobody working for me.
Right.
Once you get into the motion, it took me about a month. I could clockwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I could run this job no problem on my own.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was in these skips.
Yeah.
I knew exactly how much it'll cost to get it to me.
Yeah.
So I had everything to a T.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So at this point, I thought, well, if purchase is recycling most of it on site, you know, segregating it.
Yes, yeah.
Do I need a license? Do I need any paperwork for this?
Well,
I had all the paperwork for carrying it, the waste carrier's license.
yes.
I knew that was legal.
You're right.
To carry, you know.
Yes, yeah.
And the stuff was going to the right place,
Yes.
i.e. baling,
Yeah.
you know, recycling.
Yeah. You were taking the stuff there.
So I went up to the environmental office in Bangor.
Yeah. To ask them for advice on it, yeah?
To ask them for advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this lad, I asked the girl in the reception, I'm here to ask for some advice. And she said to me, hold on, I'll get somebody to see you. Okay? So, anyway, he came out to the office and introduced his name, Dylan.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And for some reason that day, there was a rugby game coming up on that weekend.
Right.
And something tells me it was on a Friday I was there, or on a Thursday.
Yeah. Okay.
And this lad was a big lad, black hair.
Right.
And if I remember vaguely, he had a Welsh top on.
Right.
And I said to him, like, to break the ice, are you going to see the match? Oh, we're going down.
Yeah.
So he was playing rugby himself.
Right.
Just a bit of a banter crack to get to know him, to ease things a bit, you know what I mean?
Ease the pressure and the situation.
Oh, they'll ease on to you, see. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They'll drag you in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So he said to me, yeah, I'm going down to see the game and this and that. And I said, what I'll do with you, give us your name and address. I'll send you a letter to confirm everything.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you exactly what you need.
Right.
Okay? Not at this stage, not at any time. You're doing is wrong.
Right.
Nothing.
Okay. And this Dylan told you this?
This Dylan told me this.
Yeah.
Okay? So off I went. Thank you very much. Felt a bit better.
Yeah.
They knew about me. They knew I was doing something.
Yeah.
That I wasn't down somewhere in the farm hiding it. See, that's out of the way.
Yes, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've tried to keep everything all above board.
Yes.
Because as well, wasn't there was something about paint pots and that as well. You wouldn't allow the paint pots to go to the farm where you was dumping the rubble. No,
exactly.
And you took them back to Holyhead.
Yes. Yeah? Well, sometimes the painters would put paint pots in them, or you get somebody on the van that's somebody's asked them, can you take a little bit of stuff for us?
In the skip.
In the skip. Can you drop this in the skip?
One of the tenants
would ask.
Yeah.
And the lads on the van will say, yeah, okay, then throw them in the bag.
As they do. I mean, people see a skip and people fill it up, don't they? Or
course
can I just throw this in? And
the reason for it to being in purchases place was to control it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, being the main contractor. Yeah.
Yeah, to control that. Well, if you drop it on the high street, it'd be filling up
yeah.
Yeah.
with anything and everything.
Of course.
So, this paint pot, I'd rummage around it.
Rummage in the skip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the paints out. They'd be in the bottom, you know, they tell you something,
Yeah,
so I take them out. I put them in a container.
Yes.
In a container could be 8 tins there, half full, old ones, you know. And I'd leave them behind the container there to keep all the wiring and the pipes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'd leave them there.
The paint.
The paint.
Yes.
And I'd tell them in the office.
Right.
They're putting paint in the skips and they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll send a letter out.
This can't happen. This is contaminating my loads.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, not at any time paint came into my yard, overspill and went down the drains.
No.
Never.
No.
Because you took them out?
Because I took them out. Maybe you'd get maybe an old suitcase and somebody's put a tin of paint in it.
Yes.
Yeah? But it was all on hard standing ground.
No.
Yeah.
So you could put a spill kit on it, sand or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then the paint would go back.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Same as with TVs. Don't take TVs.
No.
So the council then, G-Purchase would ring the council up and say, we've got X amount of TVs here. They're your responsibilities.
Yeah.
We're not paying to get rid of them. The contractor won't take them.
Yeah.
I.e. myself, the skip, you know?
Skip, yeah.
So, they have to come there with a van, and then they take them to Bochwe. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's that
Yes,
one.
because the council have a compound there.
Yes.
For recycling.
Yes. But it came to a stage that there was a bit of an argument.
Right.
Who's paying for these? Are
Yes.
they purchased? Or is it the council?
Yeah.
So it was down to money again.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, at that point I said, there's no way I'm taking him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll get rid of them for you.
Yes.
But it'll cost you.
No.
It'll cost you. I'll give you all the paperwork. But it'll cost you.
Yeah.
No, didn't want that.
No.
House money, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, you know, they didn't cut corners there. But it was a fine line job, John. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, of course, yeah.
You couldn't employ anybody.
No.
Couldn't afford to have a new wagon. He couldn't get new skips. But he was getting out there.
Yeah.
Advertising. People seeing me out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Trying to open doors for
Yes.
yourself.
Once you're in with the council, it's work then, maybe regular work.
Exactly.
And this is what they were telling me.
Yeah. And this is what you did, Vic. You explained before, when we interviewed you before, and you explained it was, like you said, it was opening doors. It was an opportunity that you wasn't going to break. You wasn't going to go against the law, and you wasn't going to break the law. So you did it legitimate,
Yes.
and you were careful at what you're doing.
95% of that stuff left purchase
Yeah.
got recycled.
Right.
95% of it. Not at any stage they found unlawful tipping anywhere.
No.
Not
That's another thing, Vic.
Not on any
You
stage.
were accused by Natural Resource Wales for tipping on the local lake, Llynalaw, they call it.
2 years, just year and a half, I don't think it was 2 years, 18 months maybe, a bit less than that. I was decorating. The job had finished by now.
Yeah.
They'd gone, they finished,
The renovation.
they finished, everything had gone, you know what I
Right.
mean, they'd gone. But the 5% of it
Yeah.
would go on to a recycle centre.
Right.
It'd go up to Carnarvon.
Yeah.
And they'd recycle that again. So they were able to salvage stuff again from there.
Right.
So in the end of it, would be 98% recyclable.
Yeah.
Because the rubble as well that went to the farm has actually been, well, it's actually been used as a big, massive, hardcore foundation, hasn't it?
That's
so
what it's for,
all
yeah.
of that rubble has been recycled as
Yes.
well, because it's
Yes.
now been used
Yes.
as a foundation.
But what gets me, if there's anything that you can use,
Yeah.
it doesn't get classed as waste.
Right.
Because it's recyclable
Yes,
goods,
recyclable.
Okay? So all that hardcore and everything was reusable.
yeah. It's not waste.
There
It's
was-
not waste anyway, because
No.
it's been recycled.
Yeah, there was a reason for it, and they could use it as hardcore,
Yes.
rather than blowing the quarry up and, you know what I mean?
And we filmed that. We've seen
Yes.
where the rubble is.
Yes.
And that's what it was. And it was a foundation for the farmers' big bales.
Yes.
And it's done a fantastic job for it.
Yes, as you can see yourself,
Yeah.
you know.
The video's out there, people, if you want to see it. It's all out there where the 600 ton is.
On the permitted site,
On the
in
permitted site
Yes.
in Canachomere.
Yes. But this is when it gets dirty then. The job had finished, everybody's gone home, everything finished. So my work was a bit quiet.
Yeah.
Okay? So I was still getting a bit of work of the council.
Yeah.
Okay? So I was glad in one way I could, you know, reset everything, get the skip painted, weld them up,
Yeah.
you know, buy some more in. You know, I saved a little bit now to
Yeah.
push it and up another level.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I had a visit of the environment, well, the natural resources well.
Right.
Okay? That day I was upstairs decorating my youngest daughter's bedroom.
Right.
Okay? My other two daughters were home at the time. This was on a Wednesday, dinner time. They shouted that the police are here. Okay? So I run downstairs, and as I got to the front, well, back door,
Yes.
for them, it was the front, the closest door they could get.
Yeah.
The foot was in the door already.
So when you come down the stairs, Vic,
Yes.
when your daughter called you to say the police were there,
Yes.
what did you actually see? How many police and how many officers or whatever
There
was
must
out
have been
there?
altogether, it's got to be between 8 and 10. So there must have been 5 to 6 year.
National Resource Wales.
Yeah. NRW they call them now.
Yeah.
And the police.
And the police. And what did they say to you, Vic?
That I was running an unlegal and permitted site.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I told her straight, 3 times I'd been to the office. I'd been to see Dylan. I'd been there for the 2nd time 8 months after.
Yeah.
And a girl called Sonnet said to me, "Oh, what I'll do, I'll get in touch with Dylan and I'll pass on the message."
Yeah. This is Dylan you talked about
Yes.
earlier with the Welsh rugby
Yes.
shirt on.
This is the 2nd time I'd been there now, before I had the hits of the NRW, okay?
Yeah.
And the 3rd time was, I rang them up, okay?
Okay.
And she said to me, the girl in the office, she said, "The best thing for you to do is keep all the paperwork, and if you do get a visit, you've got everything in place."
Yeah.
Okay? So basically,
Carry on doing what
Yeah.
you're doing, yeah.
Yeah.
She's told you, I don't see no
she
problem.
didn't
Keep
tell
your
me at
paperwork.
any stage, "Stop, you're doing
No.
wrong."
You just carried on trading, Vic.
So that was it. I thought, well.
I
Yeah.
must be doing everything
Yeah.
right. And
So, before they came, I was going to go for this environmental agents waste transfer station
Yeah.
permit.
Right.
So I knew,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had to have this for the work I was going to do now.
well,
So I was
the work
gonna-
that you was planning on
That's it.
doing, yeah.
Yeah.
Expanding.
Expanding and
My name was out there. I was going to push it.
yeah.
I was going to employ somebody. Try and get something up, you know what I mean? Do
Help
something.
help people
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and the
You know,
local economy and
I'm
things.
not there to rip people off, Johnny.
No.
I've done skips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're half full, Johnny, I'll
Yeah.
only charge them half.
I know you do.
People
Vic.
can't afford pay, you know what I mean, £200 for half a skip full, you know?
Yeah.
If they're paying diesel for me, I'll make 20, 30 quid on it, Johnny, and it goes, maybe it's all cardboard, Johnny.
Yeah.
Not this, he's got to recycle this and that, yes? But these firms are, you know, they're just ripping people off, you know what I mean?
Yes, of course they are.
So, people will tell other people, Johnny,
Yeah.
do a good thing, and they'll tell one, do a bad thing,
Yeah.
they'll tell 4, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's expanding your
Yes.
business. and-
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And if you don't mind me saying, Vic, you're old-fashioned. You took your £30, whatever you could make on the skips. You're an old-fashioned guy from Wales. You're not there to rip people off, and you were looking to build up and open opportunities to build a business for yourself.
That's it. And every penny I made, I gave them a receipt and a waste ticket.
Yeah.
Okay? That money will go in the pot to go in the bank.
Yeah.
It pay for the fuel. You have to have money to come in to pay for these.
Yeah.
Okay? So when the environment agency was,
Yeah.
they told me they had warrants to search my property.
Right.
Okay? On inspecting the warrants, it wasn't a search warrant,
No.
and you've seen the warrants, Johnny.
I seen the warrant.
And what did he say on it?
On that warrant, it was a Section 108 Environmental Act or something it was. But it was a warrant to inspect premises and vessels. And I actually read through the Act, and I think it was in, I can't remember what schedule it is, but it simply says, it simply says that if a search warrant is wanted, it is for emergency purposes of pollution, and and to come into a residential area, you must be given 7 days notice. But it didn't end there, did it, Vic, to be honest?
No, it didn't.
Can you tell us about the address?
The address on the warrant was for next door,
For your neighbour?
for my neighbour,
Right.
not my house.
No. So they used this warrant, it rightly should be void.
Exactly.
It should have been void from the start because it wasn't a search warrant.
Yeah.
And there was no pollution.
Nothing at all.
And it was for the wrong address, so it should have gone back to the magistrates to have the correct address put on.
Yeah. And who was the Justice of the Peace here?
Shoot.
I think it was M. Williams.
M. Williams, yes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's Holyhead Magistrates, that is, yeah.
So I told them, this warrant's wrong. No. We've had legal advice on this. This land is all in one. The house next door, your house, it's all in one.
Right.
It covers all of it.
Yeah.
So, we're right and you're wrong.
But land registry records actually show it different. They show it as two separate
I pay
properties.
my poll tax, they pay their poll tax.
Yes.
If it was one address, surely there'd only be one poll tax charge, wouldn't there? There'd be one council tax charge for the two addresses.
Yeah, but it's not just like that. If it's probably the same postcode.
Yes.
But there again, the local council estate or any other estate has a postcode, a number of a house, 21, 22, etc. If that warrant is for 22 at the same postcode, you can't go to 24, can you?
No.
Of course not.
So this is exactly what has happened to you, Rick.
We've looked into this, we've got the solicitors onto it and everything. They must have been laid back, Johnny. They are laid back, the solicitors.
Yeah.
I think they were in there to coin it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when we try to find out ourselves, okay?
Yeah.
The first couple of days, brick walls. We can't say nothing till the case is over. Or we have to send a letter and report us to the Ombudsman of Wales. 21 days to return the call. Somebody else then.
Just passing the buck.
Passing the buck all the time.
Yeah.
So
Stalling time.
the next door people phone the environmental offices in Bangor. How can you come into my house?
Yeah, because they actually searched both addresses,
Yes.
didn't they? They
And
used
the
the one
answer he
for-
had was, truthfully,
Yeah.
it's none of your business. It's next door's what we're involved in. Nothing to do with you. Yes, you've come into my house. They didn't want to know, Johnny. They didn't want to know.
There you go.
They
There
didn't
you
want to
go.
know.
They're all working together. You know, we read about these things. They're all working together. And when you hear of this type of story, Rick, it just puts everything into perspective, doesn't it? Yes, they are working together. They're not there to help us. The police are supposed to protect us and our properties, but they're not doing it, are they?
They're not, no. They're using their power to take away property, and you protect bailiffs and corporations and the bigger businesses rather than the sort of average man on the street, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not that day. I think it was a big disappointment.
Well, they found nothing, did
They
they?
took photos of every skip I had in the yard.
Yes.
80% of them skips were empty.
Yes.
Bits of rubble in one of them. Some clean plastic in the other. Metal in the other.
Yeah.
You know, bikes and pots and pans and whatever.
Yes.
You know. And in the roll-on, roll-off skips, the big skips, 2 ton most, carpets, guttering,
Yeah.
ready to go up to Carnarvon to be really,
To be
They
recycled.
recycled again, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've seen your yard, Vic, and it's spotless. Absolutely spotless. And the skip that they turned everything, because this 600 ton wasn't on your site, they even tried something about burning stuff on your
Yes.
site. What was that, Vic?
Yes. At that time in January, they came over in March, didn't you know?
Yeah.
I lost a dog in January.
Right.
She was ill over Christmas. She was only 4 years old, a German Shepherd.
Right.
On Christmas, New Year's Eve, I rang the vet.
Yeah.
I took her to Gairwan. She came out to meet us 9:30 in the evening. And to have a look at her. And she more or less said, you know, we need to put her to sleep for a while and take some swabs out of her.
Yeah.
But that will have to be next time. But I think it's cancer. Okay? So this dog was, you know, I mean, I've got 5 daughters,
Yeah.
And that dog was with me.
Yeah.
He was a birthday.
Yeah.
A friend,
Yeah. Family dog,
yeah,
and
he was
you
there.
get attached
and
to it.
he was guarding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in January, we had to put him down in the end.
Right.
He had all the tablets that he could give him.
Yes.
You know, the vet said, when he comes, you know, to the end, ring me, and I'll come down.
Yes.
So he did. And, you know, we had to put him down. So the kennel there was there now.
Yeah.
Okay? It was something about 8 foot by 8.
Yeah.
And 7 foot high, you know?
Yeah.
With some corrugated sheets on top.
Right.
And knitting around it. You know, there was fur and, you know, everything had been around the door of the shed and everything. You know, I cleaned it all out, and I said to the missus, I said, get rid of this.
Yeah.
We put it all in one pile. The smell of it, I can smell the dog here. We'll just burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Must have been at least 4 or 5 minutes. The wood was so dry, Johnny, it just went a big bang and it gone.
Yeah.
End off.
You burnt it on your land.
I burned it on my land.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, Victor,
No,
is it?
and I was about 6 foot from the conifers.
Yeah.
So if I'd have been burning heavily, then conifers would have...
They'd be singed and burned,
Yes.
wouldn't they?
The
Yeah.
conifers are the trees around your compound, aren't they? And they hadn't been touched.
But at this time, they were filming me. They were watching me at this time.
And you didn't know?
I didn't know.
Right.
They were watching me.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were making they were doing an investigation behind the scenes.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So they were filming me. So if that was wrong, why didn't they come down that day and click, 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 click?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So when they did come, you know, on that day and in March,
Yes.
you know, they went through everything, went upstairs. 2 male officers went through everything. My daughter's underwear.
And who were these officers, Vic?
The environmental agency officers.
Yeah, and what were the police doing at the time?
The police wasn't in my house at the time. They were outside.
Right, okay.
They should have been with them.
Yeah.
This woman in charge of this investigation, from day one, Johnny, she's got a grudge against me.
Right.
I've never seen her in my life. Never come across
What
her.
was her name, Vic?
Rachel Clark.
Rachel Clark, her name is. And she works for the Natural Resource Wales in Bangor, North Wales.
Yes.
Right.
Not any time have I been pulled up, been warned, anything to do with environmental, nothing. Never, Johnny.
Right.
Not ever. God, this was out of the blue for me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they went through everything.
Yeah.
They even took my tachographs from my vehicle.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the only thing they had with them was my consignment notes. Yeah, and my tachograph. That's all they could get. The pictures was worth nothing.
No.
Empty skips, clean floor, everything being swept.
Yeah.
Tidy. It was tidy.
Yeah.
So I had an interview. She wanted that interview to be that afternoon.
Right.
Before I could get hold of a solicitor.
Yes.
But for some luck, she couldn't get the room empty.
And, of course, you being in shock, which I
was going to go there and just, you know.
Yeah, so they wanted to interview while you were still under shock?
In the first couple of hours.
Yes.
You know. So they had to delay it, didn't they? She rang me up and she said, well, we can get, and then I had a phone call off somebody and said, don't go there on your own.
Right.
These are bad people.
To
me, that's what he said. This gentleman there, he rang me up.
Yeah.
And he said to me, don't go there on your own.
Don't go to Natural Resource Wales on your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the interview.
Yeah, the bad people. Get a solicitor with you.
Right.
So, yes, that's what I did.
Right.
And everything should be sorted that interview, really.
Yeah.
They told me, it only take a couple of minutes, just your side of the story, just
Yeah.
want to clear a few things up. Okay? By then, they've had my paperwork, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they came up with, this is what they said in the interview. As they were starting the interview, they said, Oh, how are you, John? That's my solicitor, Victor, okay. So what's this all about then, the solicitor said,
Yeah.
This was before the tape was on now.
Right.
This was off the record. Oh, there's just a few things, John, we need to sort out. We've gone through the books and yes, and there's 700 ton missing. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Are you accusing my client of fly tipping? And the words he told on said, no, not at all, John. We're not accusing him of fly tipping.
John, this is the solicitor.
Okay, that's what them told John.
Okay.
No, we're not accusing him of fly tipping. Okay, said the solicitor. Just get that out of the way then. Okay?
Yeah.
And I think the fellow there was called Martin Davies.
Martin Davies, yeah?
Yeah, Martin Davies. And he's an ex-policeman. He's an ex-copper. So, click, the interview was on. On this, we've been to your house, this and that, and this and that, and I said to him like this. John didn't have to answer anything. I answered all the questions. Okay?
Yeah.
He asked me, how can you explain about this burning? And I told him.
About the what?
About the burning.
About the burning of the shed, yeah?
Yeah. If you want, I'll give you my vet's bills to show that I had the dog. The kennel, I've got pictures for you, everything.
Yeah.
Okay? And it was only for about 3 minutes, Johnny.
Yeah.
That's all it was. No black smoke, nothing.
Right.
No black smoke, nothing.
An old brittle dry shed that went up in flames as paper would, yeah?
Yeah.
Really, yeah? Big deal. Okay?
Yeah.
So anyway, 710 hasn't been accounted for, so we need to find out. So if we can sort that out, that should be the end of it.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much. Interview over. And a bit of a banter between John and them.
Yeah.
As we were walking down the stairs
Yes.
to go out, John turned on and said to Martin, would this interfere with him getting his own licence? No, not at all. If we can sort this out, it'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay? Nowhere to be seen, Richard Clark. Okay?
Right.
Nowhere to be seen. So we got outside, and John said to me, I hope you've got papers to prove with them, John, I've got everything.
Yes.
It's all in the accountants.
Yeah.
Everything's there, all the bills that I paid for the tonnage, it's all there. Well, get everything together.
Yeah.
Ring me when you've had everything. Yeah. And we'll have a meet-up. Okay?
Right.
So, called to the accountants, everything came up. Okay? Got all the paperwork. Shot down to Chester to see John, the solicitor.
Right.
Went through it all, and he said to me, there's more than 800 ton here, Victor, he said to me. So, I advise you now to drop these in the Natural Resources Wales in Bangor. And he looked at his watch before 4:30, and really, that should be the end of it.
Yeah.
They've asked for something they want, and you give it to them.
Right.
And it's there, all in black and white.
And this is all paperwork that came from your accountants as well, yeah? So everything went through the business accounts, and it's all there, it's all fully accounted for and provable.
Yeah.
Yes. So, went to the office on the way home, 5:15, Martin Davies came through. And I said to Martin, Martin, everything is there for you. I even took some more waste transfer books that I found.
Yeah.
And I ordered them for him. I said, there's a bit more there for you, John. I'm not trying to hide anything, John.
There you go, there's extra. Here's what you've asked for, and here's more as well, just so you can go through more stuff,
And the rubble, John, I said to him, to the EA officer, I said, the rubble as well, this is the address.
Yes.
That's where all the rubble's gone as well. And he looked at it, oh, we'll check that one out, he said.
Yeah.
Okay, so the paperwork would confirm everything.
Yeah.
But the address, they had to check out, didn't they?
Yeah. Where the rubble was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they ever go to the address and check it out?
Never.
And they've never even actually been and had a look physically like we have ourselves. We've been and seen the site, and we can identify that, yes, this rubble was dumped there, and it's still clearly visible there. They have never done it.
I thought they'd gone there and they found that plasterboard, John. Vic.
Yes.
That was previously, yeah.
Previously.
Okay.
That was just they'd been to inspect the site.
Yes.
That site was legally running, you see.
Yeah.
It was legal.
Right.
And that confirmed that they'd been there.
They'd been there
Yeah.
and inspected the
That's
site, found a piece of
perfect.
plasterboard and
Okay.
said, oh look, everything's in order, but this plasterboard, you can't have plasterboard come in. Tell the contractor there's no more of this. And when they came 3 months or so after, there was no plasterboard again, and they was happy and everything was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened then, Vic?
Well, I thought, that's...
Not from where you finished.
Well, after I'd been to the office there, and,
Yeah.
I thought that was it, I'll get a fine, obviously. I've done something wrong here.
And what did you think you'd done? What you didn't know you'd done wrong?
Well, I knew now, didn't I?
Yeah, but you didn't know before.
Well, I was doubting it, didn't I? And that's why
Yes.
I'd been there 3 times, more or less, well, twice and phoned once to ask them.
So you wasn't sure that you was doing everything exactly by the book. You thought you was doing it to the best of your ability.
Yes.
And you went to go and check with them on 3 occasions.
Yes.
To say, look, this is how I'm operating my business.
Yes.
Is this okay with you?
Yes.
And you've had no reply from them.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nothing at all.
So they failed there in their
in
duty
my
there.
eyes, okay, yes, I was running the business, but everything was getting recycled. Okay?
Yeah.
So, when I left the office, I thought, they'll summons me or something, they'll give me a slap wrist. I was willing to pay back the duties that I had evaded, really, not paying for the licence,
Yeah.
I was quite happy. John said to me, if the push got to the shove, yes, you have been sorting it, he said to me. Yes, but on the lower end of the scale.
Yeah.
Not 50,000 tons.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The lower end of the scale. Big thing, it happens, he said. People doesn't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, there's that many rules and regulations. It's
they
hard
change,
to,
you see.
it's hard
They
to
change
understand
on a
it all.
daily basis. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep up, and there's nobody there to tell you. Well, it proves it, doesn't it, when you go there and ask for help?
And you get no help, like, actually forthcoming, is it, no?
You were trying your best, Vic.
Do
By
you
the
know?
sound of it, you was trying your best.
So,
Doing good for the environment by splitting loads and making sure that, contaminated loads didn't go to the farm, and all the recyclable stuff did get recycled, and, you're trying to do what you thought was the best thing.
I've only got one wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I've got an excellent report with Rosa,
Right.
because they can't understand how escape wagons so clean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I keep things clean, Johnny. I like to keep the skips clean outside somebody's house. You don't want to bin there.
No.
Yeah, dirty, rotten skip
Something
and
tidy.
Yeah.
Well, that's enticement, isn't it, Johnny?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've got 5 kids. I'm not going to sit in the lake by somebody, Johnny.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No. Exactly.
I live around here. I was born here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they came out with it. They just exploded and,
Made a molehill, made a mountain out of a
Oh,
molehill.
yeah, terrible.
That's what they've done. And
Well, when I said to Rachel Clark, when I saw her for the second interview,
yeah.
I said to her, it's the last thing I do, Rachel. I said to her, I'll make sure I'll get you on that warrant. You cannot come into my house without any paperwork at all.
Yeah.
And the policeman, the environmental policeman with them,
Yeah.
just shrugged his shoulders and said, well, she'll be on her own in court, so I won't be with her.
Yeah.
That's to say, well, it's her shit, not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen that?
Yeah. It's absolutely disgusting what's happened to you. Vic.
So, it dragged through that 2012, or 2013, I can't remember, it dragged through, well, at the beginning of the following year,
Yeah.
I was in court. Massachusetts in all the head.
Right.
They came up, they must have dropped the thing from the ceiling with all the convictions and everything they were trying to do me for.
Right.
A long
And
list.
This was to do, they were trying to convict you of the 600 ton at your place, yeah?
No, this was running a skip business illegally, disposing of waste unlawfully,
Right.
meanings by bearing, yeah, running without a waste carrier's license, yeah, using my property for storing,
Yeah.
sorting, segregating, you name it. They threw the book at yeah. That poor woman that day didn't even know what hit her.
Which woman?
The one on the bench.
Right.
With all these, and she was. This will have to go to Crown Court.
Right.
So, by this time, my asset been frozen.
So they froze your assets from the magistrate court?
No, from 3 months previously.
So the Natural Resources Wales froze all your assets
in August
before you ever came to the court?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. They went over to Carnarvon Crown Court and they must have given the white elephant of a story.
Right.
Okay. So they froze my asset, didn't they?
Yeah.
5 kids, Johnny.
Yeah.
To run the business.
Yes.
They tell me I could get £250 a week.
To live on.
To live on.
That's disgusting, that is.
It's absolutely unbelievable. It's I don't know. It's unbelievable. It's scary what's going on.
Okay. I was entitled to family credit.
Yeah.
Okay. With kids and everything, low wages. Okay. Doesn't say if you're self-employed you're making money, Johnny.
No.
It doesn't say. Most of these lads are self-employed. They're on minimum wage.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. By the time you paid out all your expenses, your insurances and fuel costs, things like that, running costs of the business.
So she had it into me. She was in now. You know what I mean? She had her head down and she was going to make everything as hard as possible for
This Rachel
Clark.
Rachel Clark.
Okay? So when I went to court, the frozen of assets, all this, looked good, didn't it?
Yeah.
On their behalf.
Yes.
So I had to get a legal aid, didn't I?
Right.
Nobody would take the case on. So I managed to get one from Carnarvon. Yeah. And he said to me, I'm only here today to represent you as a favour. I feel sorry for you. That's how bad it was.
Jesus Christ. No one's willing to go up against the council and the environmental agency, are they? People just don't want to take them on, no?
No. Well, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Everybody is entitled to a defence, yeah. To a defence.
Yeah. A fair hearing.
And a fair hearing, a fair trial.
But tell us about the guilty plea, Rick.
You went up to Carnarvon Court then?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it was February. So I'd been in January in the small one. I think it was February something. I was in Carnarvon 3 weeks after.
Right.
Okay. So by then, the solicitors from Carnarvon, he'd had the nod through that legal aid was in, they were going to pay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was going to take it on. But he was out of his league. Do you know what I mean? He came up, he said, we'll fight this to prove, they have to prove that. Okay?
Yeah.
They had a barrister on the day that came from the Midlands. He didn't know my name. So how could he fight my case?
Yeah.
You know? So they were doing deals before even going into the court.
How could you say that? What were they doing?
Well, the barrister with another barrister.
Right.
We'll do a deal, you can have this, he'll give you that.
Right.
Yeah? So, where was I, Johnny? In the middle where they were arguing my case, really.
Yeah.
Not in front of a judge. Okay?
So this was all done outside, this wasn't actually in the courtroom where there was... Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Deals, they call them.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, of course they do, yeah.
So, they came out with it. The best deal we've got for you today is you plead guilty for sorting your waste on your land.
Right.
And storing it, basically.
Right.
Okay? To a minimum point, I said, I've stored it just for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And it's been shifted somewhere else to be recycled.
Yeah.
So it's not been stored there, is it really? It's been parked there for a couple of days, isn't it?
It's in transit, isn't it? It's on its way to the dump in transit.
There's a use for it.
Yeah.
There's a use for that plastic. So it's not waste, is it?
No.
Okay? So these little things should have come out, you see.
Yeah.
To get the arguments going. And he said to me that if you agree to this today, they'll drop the disposing of waste unlawfully, running without a license to carry waste.
But you have that license anyway, don't you?
I said, I've got a license.
Yeah. So you had the carrier's licence?
I had the carrier's licence all along.
Yes.
And Rachel Clark knew this from the day I was in my house.
But she still put it into the charges though, yeah?
Yes, that I didn't have one.
No.
So Rachel Clark knew about this?
Yes.
That you had a carrier's licence?
Yes.
And she still put it in with the charges?
Yes.
That they wanted to do you in the court?
That's it. So they dropped them. I'm plead guilty to this. And this, you will be able to keep your house.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree, you'll definitely lose your house. And I can tell you this now, he said to me, with the age of your kids, if he's got nowhere to live,
yes,
they'll take him to care.
And that's the last thing you want, isn't
so,
it?
So I said,
what you've had, well, to me, that looks like they've been threatening you, putting you under stress and duress.
And blackmail.
And blackmailing you.
so I agreed for,
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
well, I had, started to a certain point, segregated to a certain point. I'd been to Bangor to ask for these advice, didn't I?
Yeah, you've already asked for it.
I wasn't going to lie, was I?
No.
No.
Well, to be fair, I mean, people know you on Anglesey. We know that you're not there to rip anybody off. You don't have any previous convictions, Vic, for things like this, do you?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. So, yeah, I think it's disgusting, Mark, what's going on. And
it's a pure acid grab of his business and his home and everything, isn't it?
yeah. So what happened then, Vic?
So, they adjourned it for a pre-sentence report. Okay?
Okay.
So, 2 weeks after, I went down to Bangor, had an interview with the lady there, probation, never been, didn't know anything about what's going to happen or nothing.
No.
Conversation, family life, just getting to know me, getting inside my head and things like that.
Yeah.
And she turned around and she said to me, Johnny,
Who's this?
The probation officer.
the probation
officer.
Okay? I won't mention her name for now, okay?
Okay.
She turned around and she said to me, Johnny, can I tell you something, she said. Have you upset anybody?
Right.
Meaning, well, this Rachel Clark,
From Natural Resource Wales.
yes, has told me that you have fly tipped by Sin Allow Lake, Allow Rest River,
Yes.
4 miles from my house,
Right.
and it's cost the local authority 100,000 to clear up.
Right.
Okay? This woman is out to get you. Okay? But the report, she said, I don't see the point of you being here today. For what you've done, she said to me, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So, I got home, came fuming. So I said to the missus, we'll have to get in touch with the council now to ask them, has anything happened up there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Monday went to see the lady in the council office in Llangefni.
Right.
Told her the story. Told her everything. Leave it with me for a week and I'll get hold of the lads and I'll ask them when I see them and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Okay? So she rang Monday up and she said to her, you can come over to the office, I'll be here this afternoon. She went over into Llangefni offices and she said to Monday, we've never had any issues with Vic skips. We've never cleared anything from the Allow. So, if you want us to get in touch with your solicitor and discuss anything, you can email me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I rang the solicitor and told him, basically, he didn't want to know really. And I thought that was a good attack point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was good stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, a few weeks went by. Weeks, something like that. Mandy rang the probation officer up and asked her,
Yeah.
well, you can come over if you want to have a look at the report and bring Victor with you. I can't send it. I'm not allowed to. But I'm allowed to show it to you.
Right.
And the copy will go to your solicitor and the copy will go to the Natural Resources Wales solicitor.
Yeah.
So, okay, went down there. Anyway, we waited in the reception room and she shouted us in, and this was on the table for us now, the report, and I read. And she turned around and she said to Monday, "Oh, do you know what? I've had that bloody Rachel Clark here in the office."
Who said that?
The probation officer.
Probation officer, yeah, okay.
"I've had this Rachel Clark here telling me what to put down on this report, so it looks bad on you. Prison," she said. "She wants you to get prison."
Unbelievable.
It's disgusting, yeah. Absolutely disgusting.
So I was in court in mould. They shifted it to mould now. Okay?
Yeah.
So when we went up to mould in August, okay?
Yeah.
This report now was supposed to be ready.
For the judge to read out and to be ready in
Okay.
front of the judge, yeah.
But for some reason, Natural Resources Wales wants to delay it. So we went up all the way to mould.
Yeah.
So they could delay it. Okay?
Okay.
For the reason, I still don't know. And the judge turned around and said, "This has been going on now for over 12 months.
Right.
This should have been resolved."
Yes.
Okay? I'd won this in my court again.
So that judge didn't want this case in
No.
his court?
Take it back to Carnarvon.
Right.
Okay? So anyway, for some reason, they got it back to mould in October.
Yeah.
So the pre-sentence report and everything now was up and running, wasn't it?
Yes.
So really, this was the big day.
Yeah.
This is finished, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, back to normality.
Yeah.
And the probation officers rang her up and to, "Good luck, everything will be alright for you, don't worry."
Yeah.
Okay? So we got there. They wanted to delay it again till February this year.
Right.
And this is Natural Resource Wales that have been asking for the
Yes.
adjournment and the delays, yeah?
For the simple reason, because their barrister was busy elsewhere.
Right.
So they put me on the back burner.
Right.
Even though you've been waiting long enough and your case should have been dealt with already, yeah?
Okay?
Yeah.
Again, I hadn't been in front of the judge to argue my case.
No.
Nothing. Okay? So February 2015, this year now, I was in court
Right.
on a Monday. Okay, in February. They rang on a Thursday, cancelled again. Due to the fact that the barrister had been taken ill and he couldn't attend.
Right.
So it was delayed again.
Okay.
Okay? Till May
May the 4th.
the 4th.
Yeah.
So May the 3rd, I was told I was in court.
The day before.
Yeah.
Day before your hearing.
Yes. Okay?
Yeah.
When I got in the court, I had my daughter with me, my partner Mandy,
Yeah.
and myself.
Right.
We got into the court, we sat down, and the judge looked at me and he said, "I'm very sorry, Mr. Williams," he said, "but you better go for a cup of coffee," he said. "And I presume these are your family as well with you."
Yeah.
Yeah, Mandy and Sean, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, fucking great this is, you know what I mean? It's fucking alright this, you know what I mean? He's alright.
Yeah.
So we went outside. Trying to get a hold of the barrister now. And he came around and he said, "We trying to sort it out," he said, "between ourselves, so
Right.
you won't go into the court." Okay?
Okay.
So I said to him, "Okay, fine, you know, okay." A couple of hours after, he was still running around, and he said, "You better come through now." So we went into a room,
Yeah.
and he came up with this figure. They are arguing that you have made 800,000.
Right.
Okay? 800,000. I said, "Fuck, my account will prove that I haven't." Yeah?
Yes.
But
Of course it would, yeah.
they are willing today to put the offer on the table for it to be 400,000.
Right.
That's the equivalent of all your assets. Your house, your vehicle, your car. I said, hold on for a minute. What about my fucking kids? Well, I'm sorry, he said to me.
Yeah.
That's the deal. And if you reject that, they'll go back in court and they'll argue the case. And then you will have to pay them 800,000.
Right.
Basically, you'll be working for the rest of your life to pay these people back.
Right.
So, that's the decision I was given.
What do you think of that, Mark?
Well, it's kind of shocking, really, when you listen to the whole story and it sort of unfolds like this. I mean, as you can see, he's actually done no wrong. He's tried to do everything what he thought was doing the right thing, and separating waste, and to be hit with a fine that's so massive it's shocking. Yeah.
At one stage, it was shortfall of £1 million, Johnny.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know what I mean? Where did they get these figures from,
They want, well, like they said, it was your assets.
My assets would cover it.
Yeah.
How could they walk 10, 15 metre and drop 400,000?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they walk another 10, 15 metre and drop another 400,000?
Yes, exactly.
It was so easy for them just
for them to halve it. Why can't they halve it again and halve it again and halve it again?
Like I said to you, Johnny, you owe me 100 quid.
Yeah.
Give us 50 quid and we call it quits.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Yeah.
It looks like
if you owe me 100 quid, you owe me 100 quid, don't you?
Yeah. I don't think it just doesn't sound right, but I think we'll leave it there now, Vic. I think you've told us enough what we need to know. I think we know the answer. What's going on?
I think everyone who's heard the story as well tonight will be able to hear for themselves and then see for themselves really what's actually really happened.
And the most important thing I was going to say, the pre-sentence report still hasn't been read.
They still haven't read the pre-sentence report. Well, I think...
Does that make you think that she's been there trying to do me harm before?
Yeah.
And how come they haven't read this?
Yeah.
Because it's good points for me. Same as being on that farm with a rubble, it's good points and they don't want it.
No.
They want negative. And that's what they're doing to small business, Johnny.
Yeah.
They frighten them. They scare them. They'll pay up just to get rid of them.
Yeah. I think this is what it's all about. It's all about scaremongering. It's all about profit. It's all about asset grabbing. I mean, you're a small business on Anglesey, Vic, and it's just not right what's happened. It doesn't look like even due process. But this going guilty is on the borderline, forcing you to go guilty. So
it was like a decision. You've got 2 kids, and somebody tells you one of these is going to go terminally ill.
Yeah.
Pick which one you want.
Which one do you want to save?
Yeah.
That's the day of the day. You know, take 800,000 or 400,000.
Yeah.
And have just nothing on my back and maybe try and start something again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And all your assets are seized.
Still,
This is what it's all after.
Yes.
And it's all because of a license.
Yes. He didn't seize my family credit at the time.
So it's all to do with the license, which you wasn't aware, you wasn't sure, and you went and made inquiries.
Yes. And out of this, there's nothing being about flight tipping or where the wares is gone the proper way.
No.
They don't want to know about that. They just want to go on the negative, the bad things all the time, Johnny.
That's it. Okay then, so that's Vic. I think if we put 2 and 2 together, I think we can understand what's really going on here. But what do you want to say? Any last words? Because I'm still in shock, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty much still in shock myself, but everyone who's out there listening tonight can hear this story and they can make up their own minds and see for themselves exactly what has gone on here.
Yeah, and I think the date, when are you in court?
2nd of June.
2nd of June. If we can help, if anybody is free on that day, I think we should go there and hope for the best.
Yeah, and it's in Carnarvon Crown Court, yeah.
This advice I need lots,
Yeah.
Somebody out there, maybe a solicitor's listening and he knows this is wrong. Just that somewhere
If there's a barrister out there or a solicitor, please come forward with some advice for Victor, because this is just terrible. Anyway, I'm gobsmacked. I'm absolutely gobsmacked.
Yeah, I myself, and just like to say thank you to everyone who's listened tonight, and tune in next time for the Common Law Court of Wales radio show.
North Wales branch. So, thank you everybody for listening, and good luck to you, Vic.
Good luck, Vic, and thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Goodbye, boys.